and welcome to your Katie Bell Physiotherapy and Wellness Upper Body Workout. This Pilates workout is designed to challenge your shoulder stability, your upper back strength and the deep control around your neck. You're going to need some simple equipment today. First of all, I've got a massage ball here. You could use a tennis ball or a spiky ball or even a golf ball if you really want to. If you don't have any of those, I'll show you how to use this using your hands. I want you to avoid this massage if you've got any recent scarring or fractures, say around your collarbone, if you've got a pacemaker on this left hand side, or if you're pregnant. I want you to avoid the massage on the top of the shoulders. All of those have different limitations or contraindications for different reasons, but if that is you, just skip that one out and do a preferred massage when we're doing those ones. The other equipment you'll need for your workout today is a couple of weights. Now I've just got some tins out of the cupboard. You could use small hand weights, or if you've got the weighted Pilates balls, those are fantastic. I've also brought with me today a block and a little rolled up sort of fleecy blanket. I can use those interchangeably and I'll show you how to use them depending on your preference. But if you don't have either of those, a thick book or a rolled up towel or anything like that would be absolutely perfect. So let's start by massaging across the front of our chest. Now, if at any point these don't feel right for you and you need to adapt, please do. But if you have got any significant problems or questions, just give us a shout at the clinic. So sitting in a comfortable position, either on a chair or down here on the floor, let's massage through the chest. So I'm going to take the ball into my left hand and pop it here over onto the front of my chest. And as I massage through, I'm staying quite high, so I'm staying up near the collarbone. I'm not coming down into the chest wall or into the lymph tissue or breast tissue there. I'm staying in the muscular tissue. And I'm sticking up along this collarbone, not only because it's kind of a safer place for us to massage, but also this is like a junction, and often we can get quite sticky with our connective tissue here, and that can cause a little bit of a change in the way that we move. So we're just going to massage underneath there, working along underneath the collarbone and then working back out again. As you do this, notice where you can spot some tenderness or some tightness. So I can feel it probably about a third the way over from my sternum. So where the edge of my sternum is, I can feel it there. So I'm going to concentrate on that portion there. If you're not noticing any localized areas of tightness, just keep massaging along that whole line. Okay, now we're going to just change this very slightly, and I'm going to turn my head away as I massage. Keep looking over my left shoulder, just to open up this right hand side of the chest. And you might like to take it a little bit slower, maybe working into that tissue, maybe even gliding the ball away towards that right hand side. If not, you can keep with this little massaging action. I want you to listen to what you're feeling. I want you to hear what your body is saying about it. Any sensation, any symptom, any feeling you get from a movement or a position is your body's conversation with you. So your body telling you what it wants, what it's feeling, what its experiences. And that's really, really helpful to guide you in terms of what you're trying to do as well. Okay, let's press and hold onto a point that maybe feels tight or tender, and then we're going to reach this right hand out and keeping our head turning over to the left hand side. Just lift and lower this hand. It's almost like I'm giving the window a little clean, a little polish with my palm, making this nice sweeping action, lifting up and down. If you can, see if you can pause now, lifting your hand up, take a nice big breath in and reach your fingertips away from you. And then breathe out, slide the hand back down again. And again, slide it up, reach the fingertip, breath in, and out. One more time, lift up and reach, and back down. Lovely. Okay, let's move the ball now onto the top of the shoulder if that's appropriate for you, and massage down. So I'm pushing, if that's the top of my shoulder, I'm actually pushing down into it. So I'm putting the ball and squashing it into the muscle. So I'm pressing down and through. And from this position, it's easiest for me to press down and almost roll the ball forwards. Now I'm not pushing it into this little pocket here, so if you feel the top shoulder muscle and you feel the collarbone, if you draw your finger along it, that makes like an arrow, like a triangle shape, which then closes around the base of the neck, so you've got this triangular area here. I'm not going to be pushing the ball down inside that. I'm going to be pressing into the muscle, drawing the muscle forwards. When I feel that I come off muscle, I then release it. Press and pull through. This is almost like, you know, when a massage therapist comes into that muscle and it's sort of they lift it up and they knead that muscle. It's a similar action to that, bringing that little release into the upper shoulder. Now, if you want to intensify that, you might like to bring this ear down to the shoulder. So bringing your left ear down to your left shoulder. If that feels like the muscles then go really, really tight and then you're just sort of rolling across the top and it just feels like rock, bring the head back up. It might be that actually that puts too much load and tension on those tissues. Okay, last one on that side. And again, now just pressing and holding, either with or without the head sort of tilt to the side. I want you to turn your head left and right, keeping it either tilted or upright. So rotating in each direction. So we're really trying to work into those points, massaging and opening up. Last one, and up we come. So before we jump into the other side, I just want you to pause for a moment. How does this side compare to this side just at rest? Can you notice a difference anywhere? Try turning your head left and right, maybe looking down and up, maybe raising your hands up into the air or out to the side. Is there anything particularly you notice? Okay, let's switch to the other side. So ball over into that right hand, popping it on the front of the left shoulder if that's okay for you. And just massaging into that lower part just beneath the collarbone and working along towards the heart. You'll notice, especially if you're using a ball that's a lot harder, like a golf ball or a lacrosse ball, as you get to the centre here where the sternum is, it just feels wrong. You know that you're on bony tissue, you're not actually getting a lot of release here. So try and stick more in this muscular soft tissue area. In terms of self-release, you're not really going to get a great deal of benefit, kind of rolling up and down here at the chest. We can do release up here, but it's a very different sort of technique that we do in terms of manual therapy. So stick underneath that collarbone, massaging along that line. Remember, you're looking for that point that feels a bit tight. So for me, on this right shoulder, it feels further out towards the joint, but that's just what my experience is. So I'm going to focus into that little area there. I can feel that echoing a little bit into my shoulder blade, so I'm going to keep on that point. And I'm going to turn my head to the right hand side now. And again, I'm just noticing, what did I feel? Did I feel tension in my neck? Did I feel it into my chest? Did I feel it into my shoulder? Okay, so keeping into that point there where you're working. Now hold it, reaching this left arm out to the side. Can you lift and lower that hand? Imagine you're sweeping your fingertips to the other side of the room. Keep the tension there, and you may even notice how, after a few, if you were tight, that movement might start to ease off, and you can feel more fluid and free in that movement. And you guessed it, yep, if we're taking away those restrictions, those messages in our bodies that just stop us gliding, then our body can move more freely, which means we get more out of our workout. Okay, hold it there, stretch away, look to the other side, just gently holding, 3, 2, 1, and release. Lovely. Okay, let's take the ball onto the top of the shoulder again, if that's okay for you, and we're massaging down and forward, so we're rolling into it. We feel that little bit of pressure sort of dragging forwards, again that sort of kneading action that you might have if you've ever had a massage before. So we press down and forwards. As we're coming through, imagine yourself coming through the muscle itself. Relax the jaw, and if you want to, tilt the head away. Remembering, if it suddenly goes very tight and you just feel like you're rolling on the top of a pebble, bring your head back up so you can actually get into that tissue. Somewhere in between is fine as well. Okay, so we're going to press and hold wherever we feel that tension now, and we're going to look to the left, and then we're going to look to the right, keeping our head tilted to the same degree. Again, we're kind of trying to pick up where we've got that connective tissue or muscular tightness. And we're just using movement and gentle, moderate pressure here to help us free off those sticky, tight restrictions in our range. Last one here. Let's hold it there. Big breath in. And exhale. Release. Well done. Give those shoulders a roll. So again, you might like to check in. Tilting your head down and up, maybe turning left and right. moving those arms up and down, maybe reaching behind your back, seeing how that feels. Already you might be noticing how your body can just uncurl and sit up a bit better. So let's pop our ball out the way, and we're going to come into a sitting position that's comfortable for us. So for some of you, you might prefer to sit onto something soft like a cushion or a little fleecy blanket, or onto one of the blocks if you find that you need lifting up. So if you're a bit tighter in your hamstrings or stiffer in your lower back, a nice firm head block or a couple of nice textbooks should do. If you've got any sensitivities around your tailbone, you might like a nice soft blanket to come and sit on. Okay, so coming and finding your sitting position, coming up nice and tall, just imagine that you're tilting forwards and backwards through that pelvis until you can find that anchored point. And the reason why we're still paying attention to this lower part of the body is that if you are slumped or overly arched in your pelvis, you're then going to change your head position. So just keep coming and checking for me that you've got a good position. So tilting forwards and backwards, find that lovely neutral, and then let the spine float and stack on top of each other. We're going to go into our corkscrew. So floating those hands up towards me, let's draw those elbows back first of all and just feel the shoulder blades squeeze. Imagine them just gently pinching towards each other. Lovely. Let's rotate the hands now and imagine yourself lengthening out through the ends of your elbows, and just check in. Chest, ribs and pelvis. Have they all flared open, or are they connected and stacked on top of each other? Okay. If you're happy, if you've got that, bring your hands to your head. I just want you to take a little shrug and then back down. Shrug, back down. Gliding these little shoulder blades up and down the back. As you do this, see if you can keep the jaw in the same position. Same tension through the neck, not starting to grip through the jaw, or kind of hold down, drag into the neck. Up and down the shoulders. Let's do 2 more here. Okay. This time we're going to shrug up. This time as we shrug down, we're going to twist round to the left-hand side. Hold for a breath in. Breathe out, come back to the centre, shrug up, and then twist to the right. If it feels too confusing, shrug in the middle and then twist. But if you can, instead of kind of separating them out, see if you can shrug, twist and release. Shrug to the centre, that's it, twist and release. Shrug, twist, release. Shrug, twist, release. That's it. Shrug, twist, release. Keep that going in your own time. Okay, one more to this direction. And then release those arms all the way down to the side of you here. Rolling those shoulders gently. It's a nice little exercise to get those deep shoulders and upper shoulders coordinating with each other. So long hands here, we're going to take ourselves into our mermaid. So using your left hand, let's sweep up and over, landing into our right palm. Hold for a breath in. Breathe out and switch. And again, breath in and breathe out to switch. So you'll feel your arms float, almost like they're just drifting past, fingertips just coming past and sweeping across the ceiling. Imagine you're doing a bit of DIY, giving the ceiling a little touch up. Hold that breath in and exhale and switch. As you do this, try not to use this underneath arm to push you off. Use instead the side of the waist here. So if you're not sure, float that hand off and then switch. So I'm not actually letting my hand come down full. And see whether or not do you start tilting and leaning. Anchor down into that pelvis. So even though we're in upper body this week, we're still finding our foundation down into our lower body. Okay. On your next one, so we're going to come down into this left hand. Right hand reaches long. I'll reach across the room here. Stay here for me. Hold it for a breath in. Now breathe out. Roll forwards like you're looking down towards the mat and reach forwards through these right fingertips. Breath in. Breathe out, roll back in line. And again, off you go. Roll forwards, look down over your knee, reach forwards across to the front corner of your mat. Hold for the breath in. Breathe out, roll back in line. One more time, all the way forwards, breath in. And roll back. Let's restack. Okay, let's go to the other way. So sweeping long and over through that left hand, just gently resting into this right palm here. Exhale all the way down, hold for the breath in, reach forwards now. Exhale, come back up again. Rotate down and reach forwards. Imagine I've got hold of your fingertips and I'm drawing them slightly across the room. Your job is to keep your pelvis anchored down equally into the mat and your light into your support hand. Hold for the breath in. Imagine I pull for the duration of your breath in into your left fingertips. One more. Rolling through. Reach, 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 reach. And then roll back through and release. We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to go forwards and backwards with our rotations, and we're going to keep alternating sides. If it makes you feel dizzy or it's too much, just stay with the version we've done. So let's go over to the side, sweeping that right hand up and over. Okay, hold for the breath in here first of all. Now breathe out, roll forward, hold for the breath in. Breathe out, rotate to the centre here, and now look up slightly towards the sky, reaching up and behind you for that breath in. Release back to the neutral and switch over. So we roll forward, you know this one, reach forward, hold for the breath in. Breathe out, restack, and then rotate like you're lifting your heart and looking up in front of you. Hold for the breath in, imagine you're trying to take your hand off to the back corner of the room, and then rotate to release. Let's take it very slightly faster. So we go over, rotate down, hold for the breath in, reach forwards. Then rotate round and up, reach up. Come back to this aligned neutral and then switch. Over you go. Hold for the breath in as you rotate forwards and down. Now rotate up and back and switch. Now we're going to try and flow those into each other. Stay with the version you're happy to. So roll forwards, breath in. Roll back, hold breath in. Now keep open, engage your core. Breathe out, use that core to come all the way. So we're open very slightly. My top shoulder is slightly behind my underneath shoulder. I roll forward, and then I restack back to the centre. I'm going to repeat back in this way, so over I go. Roll forwards, take your breath in. Breathe out and hold for the breath in as we rotate up. Now switch to the other side, instantly going into that rotation up, but keep this core in. Rotate forwards, hold for the breath in, and then restack to the neutral and come back to the centre. Well done, give those shoulders a nice little roll. We're going to come up into high kneeling now. You might prefer, if you are on a hard floor like I am with a mat, you might like a cushion or the mat rolled up underneath your knees, or if you're on a nice soft carpet, you might be able to cope without it. So I'm going to come through into high kneeling, and I'm going to bring with me my little bits of equipment ready for me to use. So I'm going to pop my weights here, ready, and I'm just going to pop my blanket underneath my knees. Okay. So I'm stacking up nice and tall. As you can see, my feet have disappeared behind my legs. If you want to, you can bring your heels together. Did you notice my feet come together? And you can hold on to, imagine you've got a piece of paper or a little mini marshmallow between your heels, and then just gently gripping, whichever version you do, whether you're in parallel or gripping, I want you to just imagine you're connecting your knees into the floor, and that's almost kind of straightening your thighs, which lifts up your pelvis, and therefore you can stack the rest of your body on top. Okay, so we're going to go into our dumb waiter first of all, and this is our setting exercise before we come use our weights. So set your hands up in front of your body, tucking these elbows in. Exhale, open the hands. Inhale, return. Exhale, out. Inhale, return. So it's just a little nudge. You should feel how the shoulder blades just gently glide towards each other. And it feels a really simple exercise, but it's helpful just to keep going around those key points. So driving down into the knees, floating into the crown of the head, shoulder blades squeezing. That's it. I don't think whatever level of Pilates you get to, you're ever beyond a dumb waiter. This is just a perfect exercise for activating, waking up and reminding our bodies of how we work. Okay, let's turn our palms and reach out into our Cleopatra and then rotate back in. So we go out, turn your palms down, reach, and then come back in. So whichever level of Pilates you would class yourself at, I want you to think about your quality of movement. I am going to give different options today, with and without weights, different versions. I want you to do the thing that you can do best at the hardest possible level. Okay, so now we've got that body thinking about the pattern of movement you're going into. This is where you might like to bring your resistance in. You can use a TheraBand between your hands if you haven't got them, but any weights, 2 water bottles, anything, as long as they weigh the same, that'd be perfect. So this time, weights just light into the hands. We're not gripping hard with the hands. I rotate out and in. And in, and even just a very slight change. What have I got? 400 grams, so not even half a kg here. So very similar to your weighted ball in the studio. This is giving me just that slight awareness. Okay, let's rotate and reach out into our Cleopatra. Exhale, float. Inhale, return. Exhale. And I really do imagine my movement being an extension of my breath. Imagine breathing through that movement. It's not difficult, it's not challenging me. I'm not having to breathe out because I need more power, but I'm trying to let those two things flow together. Okay, when you're ready, I'm going to take my hands out now and hold palms facing forward. I'm going to lower my hands down and then sweep them back up. I'm just staying here to start with. Now still tuck the tailbone to neutral. Just gently pressing those knees into the floor, squeezing the heels if you're using that prompt. Exhale, inhale. Okay, this time up above the shoulders into a high V and then down into a low V. High V and low V. Keep going with this. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And down. I want you to imagine that you've got a wall behind you. And the back of your hands, your elbows and your shoulder blades are all gently sweeping on it. I'm keeping my spine against the wall and I'm keeping my chest in. Okay, next time you come up onto the high V here, shrug the shoulders, come back down, release to low V, shrug the shoulders, come back down. High, shrug, and low, shrug. Now, if you find this gives you any jaw pain or neck pain, I don't mean fatigue, but I mean symptoms. If you tend to carry a lot of tension there and that triggers that off, just stay with the version you're doing or get rid of the weight. But we quite often get tension and neck problems, and that also sits hand in hand with weakness in these upper shoulder muscles. We think of these upper shoulder muscles as overly toned, overly active. Actually, it's a sign of compensation for weakness. So we shrug to reset, shrug, reset. Hopefully your arms are having a little chat at you by now. So make sure that spine is staying in neutral, those arms are staying long. One more here at the top and the bottom. Okay, stay here now, small circles, small circles. You've always got the options to get rid of the weights. You can even have a little rest. I want you to try and keep that moving. Keep it nice and smooth. We don't look like we're working particularly hard, but we're working on endurance. So I can feel this working across the back of my shoulder blades, across the back of my arms. I can feel a little bit across the top of my arms as well. But I'm really thinking about my shoulder blades working. I'm consciously keeping my ribs down and I'm keeping my jaw relaxed. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Give those shoulders a nice roll. Fantastic. So staying in this position if you're comfortable to, you can come into standing if your knees or hips have had enough. If you want to, you can also get rid of the weights. And we're going to go into our standing, our lifted high arm openers. So bringing your hands up in front of you, we're going to go to our bow and arrow. So using your left hand, draw your arm towards your chest, tucking your elbow behind you, and then rotate like you're reaching forwards towards me and taking your elbow away. I'm going to turn to the side in a moment. Let's swap sides. So I draw back, then I rotate, then I come back through and release the hand. So hand and elbow, then the chest. So they flow off of each other. Let me rotate for you. So I rotate and then release. My arm goes first, then I rotate. Keeping that pelvis nice and still. That is where you're going to get the real quality out of your workout. Being really bossy with your body, just like a physio. I know what you're all thinking. Exhale back and all the way through. Exhale back you want to progress this and you feel happy with your activation, this time go all the way through, extend your arm and then long arm to close. So it's almost a bit like a breaststroke swimming action in reverse. Obviously not swimmer, am I? All the way through. Back, round and through. Back, round and through. Again, if this is starting to give you jaw pain, neck pain, get rid of the weight. Bring your weight forward. Try not to be sinking back here into hips. Come on, let's lift up. Keep going with this. We're working into the endurance of these upper back muscles. I'm not doing lots and lots of heavy loading to them. I want these arms to have that endurance, kind of slow burn. Last version for me now. If you want to join in, we're going to go for a high sweep over. So I rotate all the way through, up and over. Now, are you still squeezing those heels and getting those glutes to activate? There's a reason I want those glutes to activate. They are your shoulders' best mates. They are teammates. So if you've got stiffness and soreness in your shoulder and neck, the likelihood is there's something going on as well with your glutes. Okay, one more time, your right arm, over you go, and release down. Well done, give those shoulders a nice little roll. You might even like to stretch out into a shell stretch, or pop your hands onto your lower back and open up the chest, whichever feels most relieving for you. Well done. So, you've got your technique work done there. We've got that sense of rib connection and shoulder connection. We're going to come to hands and knees now. Moving your weights aside, we can use them for our next part of the workout. You can keep your blanket or cushion if you want a little bit of more support around these knees. We're going to come to hands and knees position now, and we're going to start working the back of the arms and into the shoulders. So, hands and knees position. Stacking knees underneath hips, hands just very slightly above and out from your shoulders. So I don't want what we call a box position. I know it's a rectangle, but a box position. I want you slightly up and out. That's going to activate your shoulders better. Okay, so first of all, using our arm that's closest to the camera, so your left arm for me, I'm going to bring my elbow up towards my waist and I'm going to extend out and in. So I'm slicing my hand past my body. If you can, especially if you tend to be quite rounded with your shoulders, can you do this with your palm facing down? Can you see how my hand turns down? Now you've got an option here to stay where you are, or you can grab your weights, pop them on the mat for you, and then you can use one of them here as a bit of resistance here. Exhale. Now you'll notice as you do this how you'll want to lean off into this right hand and you'll be wonky on the mat. So see if you can keep your heart into the centre. So if it helps you, put one of your weights in the middle of the mat and then the other one you can use. It will give you a bit of a reference of where your body needs to be. Exhale back and in. Great. Okay, on your next one, extend that arm out, hold it there, open up that shoulder blade, so don't let the shoulder roll down, open up. Now lower the weight down towards the knee and up to the hip. Knee and hip. Slicing that arm up. Exhale up. And you should find as you do this, the whole of the back of the arm and the shoulder blade are working. You may also notice, keep going, you may also notice some work here in the sides of your tummy. So as you're doing this here, how you're not trying to come across to the side, you're stabilising across. So these tensions that work across your body to stabilise you should be kicking in. So you should be feeling this by now, okay? Up and down, exhale up and down. Lovely, let's do two more here. Well done. Let yourself go back and have a nice big stretch out for those arms. Shell stretch is nice. You can lift your hips up into puppy stretch if you prefer. Now that arm that just worked, so the left arm, I'm just going to thread it underneath my body and rotate myself away from you, just stretching out the back of the arm. Two more breath cycles here. And when you're ready, let's release. And we're going to come back into that side. So, set yourself up again. There's my little marker. I know where the centre of my mat is now. Now, you've got two options. Either stay with exactly the level you've just done, we'll work with endurance. I'm going to stay with my left hand. Right hand is out wide. I'm also going to extend my right leg here. Now, just to start with, if you want to join with this without your hand, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to start by extending the elbow, and as I do this, I'm going to lift and lower my leg. Do you remember what I was saying about your shoulder and your glutes being best friends and how they help them to work with each other? So what we're doing now is we're getting our left shoulder and right glutes to activate at the same time, and then we're using our right shoulder and our left glutes to stabilise at the same time. So we've really got teamwork going across the body. Imagine a big X moving across your body from shoulders all the way to hips. Okay, extend the arm now, hold that leg up, lift and lower this top arm. And if you can, just pulse at the top, pulse, pulse, pulse. Well done. If this feels too much, keep the toe just on the floor or retract it back in. Okay, we've got 3, 2, 1, and release back to your stretch out. So come to your puppy stretch or your shell stretch like I'm doing. Staying here for 10 or 15 seconds, just releasing. You might prefer your hands together or apart, depending on where you're feeling the tension. Let's take that arm that was working, so left arm for me, and thread it underneath your body, opening up the back of the shoulder. Taking there just for another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's release and come back up into kneeling. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to swap that onto the other side, so you can stay exactly where you are. I'm just going to spin around so you can see what I'm doing. So again, I've got my little marker in the middle of the mat. I've swapped my arms, so I'm now on my right arm. I'm going to start just with the arm. So setting myself up so that my hands are off to the edge of my mat, getting the shoulder blades engaged, tucking in through these ribs. When I'm ready, palm facing down, I extend and flex. Extend and flex. So I'm keeping my upper arm completely still. Imagine I'm holding an important piece of paper in between my arm and my body. I don't want it to float away, I don't want to lose it. Okay, so I'm starting to feel the muscles at the back of the arm and the shoulder blade connecting. If you're not feeling very much, it might be that you've sort of almost rounded these shoulders. So imagine the collarbones opening, stretching long and wide. Okay, let's keep that arm straight now and lift and lower the whole arm. So down to knee, up to hip, down to knee, up to hip. Keep pressing out of the supporting hand. So you're giving that nice lift up into the body so that you can suspend that spine and support with your core. 3, 2, 1, and when you're ready, stretching out. Nice shell stretch or puppy stretch, as feels good for you. Be quite active in this rather than just collapsing in a heap. Let's take that right hand now, threading it under and through, stretching out the back of the shoulder. Staying here for 10 more seconds. And coming through. Okay, so you've got the option now, we're going up into the high level to extend your left leg out. You can add in the lift and lowers, or you can just keep it still, or stay at the level we've just done. It's up to you. I want you to be doing, do you remember, the hardest thing you can do as well as possible. So, by extending my left leg out, I'm going to extend my right elbow up and down. As I do that, I lift and lower with that opposite leg. So our support diagonal line, going from our supporting hip up to our supporting shoulder, and then we've got our active diagonal line, from our working shoulder to our working hip. Now, as we start to lift, try not to drop here of the chest. Stay up through these ribs. That's it. Well done. Okay, on your next one, we're going to keep this arm straight and we're just going to lower and lift the arm. Now, if you can, see if you can just pulse that leg into the top of the moon. Pulse. Pulse. If you need to at any point, like you feel like you just can't get these ribs to stay still, then just pop that foot back down on the floor. Go on, long spine. Press out of that supporting hand. Press out that supporting knee, almost like you're floating up into the air. 3, 2, 1, and when you're ready, down you go into your stretch position, releasing out any of that tension. Okay, let's take that arm, that working arm, thread it through, releasing the back of the shoulder, giving a gentle rotation into the chest. And when you're ready, let's pop these weights out of the way. Okay, So a little bit more resistance and some nice teamwork stability across the back line of the body. Really important system for support for the shoulders. Okay, so now we're going to bring in some stability into the shoulders. We're going to go into a side plank, but just a modified side plank today. If you want to, you might like a cushion underneath your elbow or underneath your knees, depending on how you feel. So first of all, let's come into our side plank position. So I'm coming down here onto my right elbow and I'm into the sweep position with my legs. So my legs are sweeping round, but I'm not really hunched and curled up into a ball. I'm open in these hips. So first of all, let's come out of the supporting shoulder and sit back into our spine. It's very tempting to flare yourself forward. So connect down. Exhale, make sure that elbow is in a comfortable position and then lift those hips up and forwards. So it's not just a straight up and down movement. I'm coming up, I've got glutes and shoulder. Can you see the pattern? Okay. It might be that as you start doing these exercises and the more you do Pilates, the more you see how much your body really does work as a team, and that isolating one muscle has a very limited help and benefit. We really need to get it all working together. So exhale up and then inhale back down again. Now if you do tend to have a problem around your lower back or maybe an issue with your core, maybe you've got a diastasis, you could grab this blanket, fold it up and pop it between your knees, and want you just to gently squeeze the knees together as a reminder to get this front sling, so this inner leg to underneath tummy, inner leg to upper tummy connection going on. They all work together, it's just some lead each movement. Okay, on your next one, we're going to exhale, we're going to come up. Now, the whole point of this is that we're lifting out of this shoulder and then we're connecting into our core. So we've got this support system in our upper body going on and our deep control here in our neck. Any pain around your neck and jaw, grab hold of your head. Okay, 3, 2, 1, come back down again. We're going to stay up if we can. If this is a problem for you, I want you in this position, but really active, so we're quite lifted in our ribs here. We're going to do exactly the same exercise that we're going to do in side plank if you don't want to stay in side plank. So when you're ready, up you come. If you've got that block there, grip it gently. Top hand here into crucifix. Now, dive this hand down, go for your thread the needle through. So you're going to give yourself a hug and then uncurl through the hands. So curl in, hug, and then peel your arms open. Stay long through the spine, hugging those knees together, gently squeezing those glutes. So reach round and open. Reach round and open. Lovely. Let's do 2 more. And open. Last one. And open. Okay, if you can, stay here for me. Little circle with this arm. Go on, circle, circle, circle. Well done. 3, 2, 1, and release down. Well done. Release that cushion. Take the underneath arm over, giving it a nice big stretch across. Releasing that side of the body again, a bit like we did with our mermaid at the beginning. Okay, we're going to come and lay down on our tummies now. If for any reason you can't lay on your tummy, you can have a go at some of these exercises in just all with one arm in hands and knees. So when we kind of swap over or we change or we do a second set, just swap sides, but you're going to do it in hands and knees. So this is where you might need your thick block or your rolled up towel or blankets as a head support, because when we lay down our front. We're going to do a couple of exercises here. We're going to start with our hands by our side. We're going to go into our breaststroke prep, where we open our shoulders and we lift the hands up. I want you to make sure when you're laying in your front that you're not forcing your ribs forwards into the mat. So imagine you're drawing in and you're connecting down again into that pelvis. Pelvis is so important for the upper body. So find your head support, and you should find that you've got enough room for your nose to be clear of the floor. But not only is this very helpful just for breathing, but it's also good for your neck position. Find your neutral for your back, hands by your side, and when you're ready, roll the shoulders, lift the hands, rotating, gently squeezing together, and then releasing back down. So it's an exhale, lift, turn, and gently draw, hold for the in-breath, and then release. Exhale up, inhale, hold, and release. And you should feel your shoulder blades just gently hugging towards each other. Your fingertips lifting and floating towards your knees. So your arms are gliding towards each other and slightly down and away. But you're not dragging your fingertips really far down.
Squeeze the arms nice and straight. If you can and you want to be more advanced, you might like to float your head off as well. But as you do that, we keep our eyes on our nose pointing down towards the floor.
I want you to carry on here for another 5 or 6 of those. If you're doing this in hands and knees, you're sweeping the hand past the hip, alternating sides. Exhale, float. Inhale, release. Exhale, float. Inhale, release. Okay.
So after that 5th or 6th one, have a little rest, let the shoulders relax and roll those shoulders towards each other, just taking the tension
Out of the chest.
Lovely. Okay, on your next one, we're going to float those shoulders up, reaching the fingertips and rotating the palms. From here, I'm going to take a small circle. I'm going to do 6 circles and then relax down. 3, 2, 1, and relax. I'm going to keep repeating that. So if you're doing this in hands and knees, turn the palms face out, do the circles with one arm, and then after you've done your 6, relax down and repeat on the other side. So exhale, lift and rotate, palms facing down, 6 circles, out, up and back, out, up and back. Keep going, 3, 2, 1, and again, up we go. So squeezing those shoulders together, feeling the length in the neck. If you feel more advanced and you're laid on the floor, float the head off as well for the 6 circles, but make sure as you do this, you're not just thrusting your ribs down into the floor. It's a lengthen and a float of the spine, rather than a bracing and a fixing down into the floor. Okay, let's do 2 more sets of those. Rotating, 6 little circles. Imagine you're stirring up into the upper shoulder. And last one, exhale up. And when you're ready, relax down, give those shoulders a nice little roll.
If you bring your hands up round by your head here, you can give the backs of the arms a lovely stretch out and give some softness back into those muscles. So a little bit of a deceptive exercise. Okay, this time we're going to take our hands up into the position we're in, and then we're going to come out into our capital T.
So, hands by your side. Again, if you're doing this just one-sided in hands and knees, just apply it to one side. So when you're ready, exhale, float the hands off, sweep the hands out into a capital T, then back down to your hips and lower down. Exhale, roll the shoulders, float the palms to the hips, out to the capital T, back to the hips and lower back down. To advance it, you lift the head with each movement. Exhale up and float. And again, exhale, float. And again. Okay, if you want to make it harder, you're going to stay up here in this floaty position, sweeping your arms in these aeroplane movements. So I'm sweeping out to a capital T and then back down to my hips. As I come to my hips,
try not to let these shoulders collapse forward. So it's very tempting as we come down just to roll into the floor. So sweep the hands to the hips, keep the shoulders open. You've got 2 more there, laid exactly as you are. Last one. Well done. Again, come to your rest position, hands underneath your head, turning the head the other way this time, giving the shoulders a nice little roll. Okay. Now, if you have got weights and you want to use them, I want you to bring your weight to the side of you. Now, if you're in hands and knees, just to the side of your mat. If you're laying down, pop it out so you come into a crucifix position, okay?
I'll show you this crucifix position laid on your mat to start with. So you're going to exhale, float up, and then stay here, holding onto your weight, neck is on. Exhale, float one side off, and then the other side off. If you want to, rest down between each one. Any neck and shoulder problems, bring it down here and do it down nice and low.
We're all going to get there eventually, but it's just a bit safe for your neck. If you're doing it in hands and knees position, if you can, come and rest over these. It's actually quite a nice position for the wrist over a can or something, okay? Exhale, we're going to come up and out here. So you've got a bit of a bigger range to work with here, but it's still exactly the same movement. So you're either hands and knees, single side, exhale up, exhale up. If you are in hands and knees, make sure you're stabilising with that shoulder, that support shoulder as well.
If you're down on your front, make sure that we're floating, exhale off and back down. Have a go at single side and then see if you can do both together. Okay, rest there. Let yourself just release those arms and those shoulders, give them a little roll. Okay, whilst you're resting, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So whichever position you're in, we're going to start lifting up out into this crucifix position or this aeroplane position. And then with each one, so you're going to lift here, you're going to go down and up, all the way back and down to the side of the hips. And then you're going to come back through again. Okay? So, when you're ready, whichever version you're in, laying on your tummy, wiggle without the weight, or into hands and knees. If you're in hands and knees, you're going to do it through once on one side and then repeat on the other side. Everybody else, let's try and do twice through. Exhale, when you're ready, roll those shoulders, lift that head up if you're advanced, and then floating up and down. Now as you float up and down, keep those ribs in and make sure you're slowly moving slightly further down towards your hips. Roll those shoulders open, don't let them start collapsing down to the mat, and then start stepping your way back up into your crucifix. You're going to repeat that through one more time. So switch sides if you're in hands and knees. If you're down on the mat, you're going to repeat here, both arms down to the hips, and then all the way up to crucifix. Have a little rest there, have a little breather, and release the weights. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to pop those weights aside. We're going to push ourselves up and back and stretch out to a popping stretch for a moment just to take any tension out of our back. 2 more breath cycles here. And then when you're ready, let's walk ourselves in, coming up onto high knee, popping our hands onto our lower back and gently stretching your chest open. So ribs are staying in, but the upper chest is stretching and lengthening, so I can really press my hands into my lower back and feel the stretch across the front of the shoulder if that feels safe for you to do. Lovely. So when you're ready, let's release off. If you need to, you've got your cushion to come between your knees. We're going to come over onto our side plank on the second side. So I'm coming down onto my left elbow now, popping my cushion in between my knees if I need it. I'm going to set that elbow in place, and then I'm going to think about floating out of here. So imagine you've got a bubble inside this joint. You're going to inflate that bubble and then keep it there. So make sure you're stacked with that pelvis so we're not sat back here, lounging around. Exhale, lift into your side plank, inhale back down. So you're lifting, and it's almost like you get a zip effect from your knees all the way out through your spine. Exhale, lift, and back down. Almost like I'm grounding down into my knees, and as I do that I feel this lift in my shoulder blade. I can feel it kind of sucking and gripping onto the back of my ribs, and I feel myself pressing and opening up out of this shoulder. Let's do 2 more here, and 1. Okay, if you need to, release the pressure off this arm, come into your mermaid, have a little stretch, and then come back down whenever you're ready. So, as I said, this little gentle knee grip is going to give you this connection here at the core. So let's lift out those ribs, sit back into our spine, and when you're ready, up you come and come into a hold. Can you reach that arm up here? Now stay long all the way through the crown of the head. Press the knees away, zip from the knees out through the top of the head. Hold it there. Okay, now if you want to rest, please take it. If not, join us when you're ready. You're going to wrap that arm under like you're giving yourself a hug, and then lifting back out again. And again, round you go, and back up. Unveil those arms, and then curl those arms together, like you're trying to comfort yourself for the Pilates pain that you're going through. Exhale, wrap the arms, inhale up, and really rotate the chest, but keep the pelvis nice and still. This is going to challenge your stabilising shoulder. If we just stay in one movement and just sort of reach our hand here and don't move the body, the underneath shoulder blade doesn't work through the whole range. Okay, can you do 1 more here for me? Well done. When you're ready, just have a little breather there. Let that shoulder have a little rest. Okay,
We are going to go up one more time. I'm going to take those circles with the top hand. So when you're ready, lift out that shoulder, open that chest, stack those hips. Are you ready? Exhale, lift up. Off we go. Hold here. Now push out the supporting arm. Little circles, little circles. Long through that spine. Zip down into the knees, up into the crown of the head. Keep going. Go on. Open, open, open. Well done. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Let's pop that out the way. Taking this top arm up and over. Nice big stretch for the side of the body and into the shoulder itself. Lovely. So you've done some great work there for technique, coordinating those muscles, and some nice intense weight bearing and resistance. What we're going to go into now is a couple of exercises just to challenge through the tops of the shoulders. So I'm going to come into hands and knees. Now, if you don't like being tipped upside down, it makes you, we're not going to do headstands, tipped upside down, or it makes you nauseous, or it's just not appropriate for you, I want you to come against the wall. I'm going to show you a version now in a moment. First of all, if you're comfortable to, I just want you to go into a downward dog. But if not, if you've not done that before, follow me now. So I'm going to put my hands out onto the edge of the mat, I'm going to tuck my toes, I'm going to rock my weight back, and as I rock my weight back, yes, I'm helping myself get up there, but I'm just pushing the mat away from me. So it's almost like, if I could, it's like I'm pushing a heavy fire door, okay? So when I'm ready, push the mat away, scoop your hips up, don't worry about straightening your legs, and then scoop back down. So exhale, scoop, and back in. So if you do about 5 or 6 of those, if you're avoiding going into downward dog normally, I want you to come against a door or a wall. I want you to start into a semi-plank position, and then you're going to push into a forwards fold, and then back into a standing plank. You may have to play around where your feet are. Do a couple. What I don't want you to do is be so far away that you feel like you're going to slip down the wall. So we're going into your standing plank, and then down into your forwards lane. And remember, you want your feet underneath your pelvis so that you don't slide or you don't feel like you're having to work too hard for your core or your shoulders. Okay, so everybody else who's doing downward dogs, take a little breather. We're going to come back into those now, and everybody's going to do a little version here, okay? So if you feel steady and you're happy to, you're going to progress to this version. So you're going to come up into your downward dog. Remember, you're pushing that floor away from you. Then you're going to tap your hand to the opposite elbow. Tap, tap. And as I do this, I'm trying to keep my hips nice and still, and I'm not sweeping over and over. I'm going to go tap, 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 tap. And I want you to see if you get to about 10 or 12 of those taps. Come back down for a rest and back up again. So 1 or 2, that's all good. Start that. So when you're ready, off we go, up you go. Downward dog and tap, tap. Keep doing your sets of about 10 or 12. Come down, reset, and then go again. Some of you will be going faster than others, so that's absolutely fine. Go at the pace that feels appropriate for you. And when you're ready, rock down and reset. And then again, up you go. So whichever set you're on now, I want you to make this your last set before we go to our next progression. Just thinking as you do this, how much are you swaying here at the hips? Can you keep them fairly central? Can you keep pushing your hands away? When you're ready, come down to your rest. Take a shell stretch if you want to. Okay, we're going to progress this further. We're going to play a little game of head, shoulders, knees and toes. This is one that we love to do in class. It's a bit of fun. And so what you're going to do, instead of tapping to your elbow, you're going to go elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip, knee, knee, ankle, ankle. I'll show you me. If you're doing this in standing, I just want you to go elbow, shoulder, hip, okay? Don't worry about going down to the knee. I don't want you landing on your nose. So when you're ready, off we go. Up into our downward dog or our forward lean position. So we tap to the elbow, then we tap to the shoulder, then we tap to the opposite hip, then we tap to the opposite knee on the outside, and then if you can, all the way through and down to your opposite ankle. And if you've got the endurance, reverse it. If not, come down to a rest and repeat it. So we go elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip, knee, knee, ankle, ankle, and reverse. Back to the knees, back to the hips, back to the shoulders, back to the elbows, and take a rest. Well done. Okay, one last time. We're going to hold it a little bit longer. I want you to think about which was the furthest point you could go. So if you're standing and hip was the maximum you would go to anyway, and that's where you could get to and control, that's where you're going to stay, okay? I'm going to go to ankle, but I want you to go to where you can reach to. So back to your hands and knees, push back and up, press those palms into the floor. I'm going to lead with my right hand. I'm going to reach down to my ankle. I'm going to stay here now, holding, 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 pushing that hand away. 2 more breath cycles. Okay, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to switch. Exhale through, so taking my left hand down to my right ankle now. Now as I do this, I'm not just thinking about trying to reach my ankle. Once my hand has made contact with my hip, my knee, my ankle, whatever it is, I'm then trying to rotate my body through and pushing away with my support hand. Staying there for 2 or 3 breath cycles. Go on, push, 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 push. Think about rotating. That's it. And switch. Last one. All the way through. Reach, 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 reach. And then release. Well done. All the way back. Take a nice little shoulder roll. So great fun exercise to really challenge that strength and stability around the shoulders. Okay, we've got one last version we're going to do. I know that I keep adding versions on for you. I haven't done any normal press-ups today. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them, not just because they're not very much fun, but actually a lot of us don't need to close down, and we do, and actually we need to open up. And I love, love, love downward dog press-ups. So we're going to go into those. If you are doing this in standing, I'll show you your version you're going to do now. You're going to come against the wall, hands are going to be here, you're going to be in your forward fold position, bend the knees slightly, you're going to dip your head between your thumbs and then push off here. Okay, so let's do this down in our downward dog. If you want to stay just going up and down for your downward dog, that's absolutely fine if you don't want to join in this last bit of effort. Final exercise before we stretch. Tuck those toes, press those hips up and back. When you're ready, exhale through that resistance. And again, so imagine you're dunking your head between your thumbs. This is really good for those shoulder blades and upper back strength. Try and relax your jaw and your neck. Don't worry if your head doesn't make it down between your thumbs. Even if you just try a small fold in those elbows. We've got 3 more. 2, 1, and when you're ready, fold yourself down into a poppy stretch, resting your head down towards the mat. If your shoulders feel sensitive, take them to a wide V of the elbows. When you're ready, tuck your tailbone down, round the spine, bringing the hands underneath the shoulder blades. If you're in standing, you can still do this against the wall, or you can join us back down on the mat. 1 more breath cycle, and then release the shoulders and the spine and draw yourself up into high kneeling, popping your hands here onto your lower back, gently lifting your chest up towards the sky. So I'm thinking about length, like I'm floating up. I'm not dropping here in the lower back. I go nice and tall, protecting my spine, really thinking about opening up my collarbones. 3, 2, 1, release. Okay. Using this left hand, I'm going to reach towards my ankle. You don't have to touch it, you don't have to get down. Reach down towards and lift the opposite hand, that right hand up towards the sky. Big, big reach, open, open, open. Gaze down past the foot. 3, 2, 1, and release, switching the other way. Open his hand, so really resetting the body. Press the knees into the floor, feel the glutes and the shoulder blade, gently draw towards each other. And then release, and back through. Well done everybody. You might like to get your spiky ball, your massage ball, and continue some of that release work we did at the beginning, or maybe work further down around the shoulder blades and the mid back. Good to see you all. I hope to see you back on your mats very soon.